Hello and welcome to All Shorts. Now I do find it really disappointing when I see actors, especially ones that I have a level of respect for, when I see that they're not standing up for their country. They're not speaking out when they should be. Now Keanu Reeves is an actor that, not necessarily for his acting skills, but more really as a person, I have a lot of respect for. I really do. But why isn't he speaking out when his country, that he has, fondness for, he's been quite outspoken about that certain fondness for his country, but why isn't he, speaking out? I just don't get it. You know, when I listen to things like this.
Kid, the instruction that I got from various acting teachers and institutions in Toronto, the Leah Poslin's Theatre at the Jewish Community Centre changed my life. I wasn't the same going in and coming out of that. The Toronto High School for Performing Arts, but then even, not even as an artist, but going to North Toronto, or the school I grew up in, Jesse Ketchum, and like all of the teachers that I met there, went into influencing and impacting me in such positive ways.
So he's a really mild-mannered, typical Canadian. Even he wasn't born there; he was born in Lebanon, I believe. But he is actually a genuinely nice geezer, And I just find it really disappointing when his country, Canada, is being attacked by the country that he now resides. He resides in Los Angeles, I believe. And I find that a little bit, like I say, disappointing. I don't want to be derogatory towards him, because I have a lot of respect for him. I do. Like Clint Eastwood, I have a lot of respect for Clint Eastwood, except he's MAGA. He supports Donald Trump, but he is doing a huge amount to help people. He really is. But it takes all sorts, I suppose. But don't you think really that somebody like Keanu Reeves, with the platform he's got, the respect that people have for him, I know he's been non-political, so to speak, and he always has been fairly non-political, but when the president of a country is going about saying they're going to make you the 51st state, do you have to kick me? Isn't that a bit much? Isn't that a big enough isn't that reason to actually speak out and defend your country, even if it is in a mild-mannered way? What are you kicking me for? You keep kicking me. Is it because that's because I'm scratching his back. That's what it is. Yeah, it is. That's Sebastian, by the way. Yeah, he's doing a lot better now. It's a bit cooler. So I just find it a little disappointing. His characters in many of his films have been like John Wick and what have you, Matrix. Has been somebody who has been a bit of a fighter or defends. Defends people and what have you. But why isn't he defending Canada? He barely mentions it. He doesn't mention it at all, actually. He mentions he has a fondness for Canada and his upbringing. He's very thankful of Canada. He says he wouldn't be the person he is today if it wasn't for his upbringing and his schooling. So he does have a fondness for Canada still, even though he lives in LA. But I just find it a little bit weak. I know he's a very bit of an insular person. He keeps himself to himself. He's quite private. But I just feel it's a moral responsibility if you have a platform with followers, even on my little old channel, you have followers, what have you, you have subscribers. I just feel it's your responsibility to defend your country, because you're not just defending the country, you're defending the people, the people who put you where you are. That's just how I feel about it, you know. And I find it really disappointing. You know, there's plenty of actors and other celebrities, you know, like Robert De Niro, have been quite outspoken. You know, him who shot his director woman. Oh God, Alec Baldwin. You know, I know it was an accident, but you know, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I feel it's a bit of a shame. How do you feel about it? Do you feel we need to put pressure on these people to encourage them to be outspoken about this tyranny? Because that's what it is. It's tyranny. You know, he's got, you know, Trump, you know, the orange von Schitzenpants, and he's, oh crikey, Mr. Marmalade. Once he's finished with the National Guard and martial law, because that's where you're heading, in the United States, he don't care about the Constitution, does he? He's going to move on to other countries. He's already tried to weaken them with the tariffs. And now he's threatening Canada again with more tariffs on timber. You think you got a deal, and then he throws another spanner in the works. It's whether or not he's bored or not, you know. In some ways, these countries need to keep themselves quiet in the background and just let it carry on as it is, and then maybe they won't notice you. As soon as they notice you, as soon as Trump notices you, all of a sudden there's an issue. You know, it's like that wall being painted black, although it's been painted on the wrong side. It's all paintings of flowers and stuff on the other side of that border wall. Man's a tyrant. He's a tyrant. And I think that I feel that the situation is bad enough to warrant all celebrities with a platform to defend their country. Whether you be an American citizen and a US American citizen in the US, is a continent after all, or whether you are a British citizen or European citizen, you know, I just feel it's if we don't speak out, what have you got? You know, the power of protest. Without protest, or musical festivals, without protest, you have no democracy. Democracy is being eroded rapidly in the United States. Before you know it, there won't be a democracy. No. You'll all be serfs. It'll be an empire. They will call it the Trump pie or something. I don't know. Anyway, one day I know he'll peg her, but who's going to take over? Someone else who's being funded by the Heritage Foundation. And if Project 2025 ain't bad enough, check out Project Esther, which is also on the Heritage Foundation website. If you want to have an idea what they're on about, you know, what their intentions are. It's not good. It's handmade tale stuff, it really is. Anyway, time for me to go, because I too you know, but please hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, and a little bell icon, because then you get Wolf's feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. And I hope you'll be excited about that. And if you've got a sports channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee. And there's super thanks, and anyway, there's links down below. And it is very much appreciated. I thank those who've already done that. Because we couldn't do the channel without your help. We really couldn't. Oh, there's a random Hoover. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I just thought I'd just whack it out there. Just been working in the old workshop and fixing a pump. All things. Sounds a bit grubby. So, anyway, I just thought I'd just whack this out there. So, anyway, toodaloo.